Hello, everyone. So I'm live. Okay, today gonna talk about why women should not take dating advice from men, especially men like Steve Harvey, Kevin Samuels, Derrick Jaxn. Right now we have so many men giving advice to women about relationships, about dating. And let me tell you what the main reason why men should not be doing this. Because unless they're gay, they don't date men. They have absolutely no experience dating men. So they have no idea what they're talking about. So we have all these men who are giving advice, but really they're just telling the world what they would like to have from the woman that they date. They're not actually advising women on what really works. And so I don't know, there's a reason. I mean, you don't see 80 women teaching men about relationships or dating. There's like a whole bunch of men telling women how to date, telling women what to do in relationships. But I look, if you all know of some women who are out there telling men how to date, please point them out to me because I would love to hear what they have to say. But really what it comes down to is they just lack the experience. They don't know what it's like to date men. They have no idea what it's like to be in a relationship with a man unless they are gay. You know, ladies, if a gay guy comes out and starts giving advice on how to date men, I would listen to him because he actually has some experience doing what we're looking to do, doing what we're trying to do. So it's just funny to me that we have so many of them out here. So, here we are. Steve Harvey, married how many times? 3. Cheated on wives. And I mean, let's be honest, like the book, I didn't read the book, of course, because I knew it was going to be sexist, but I got a few things out of it, because people, it was a huge, huge success. Millions of women went out and bought his book, despite him cheating on wives and despite him, being married multiple times. They just went out and bought his book. And the thing that sticks out to me is like, most of his advice is like this really old patriarchal sexist stuff. For example, the 90-day rule. Now, he advised women that they should not get into a sexual relationship with any guys that they're dating for at least 90 days. It's an arbitrary number, first of all. How did he come up with the 90 days? What's that about? And then when you think about it, do you think Steve Harvey would tell men not to get into a sexual relationship with women after 90 days? Like, seriously, do you think that would happen? But that's what we get. Like the Derrick Jaxn thing. I mean, I'm not saying that some of the videos, I have seen a couple of his videos. And what is blaring to me, I talked about it last week, was like, it's like, why is he advising women? Why are you here, Derrick? Why are you in this space? And then since that whole incident blew up, the whole narcissist thing just is really blatantly loud now. Like you can see that he's got issues. And, he should leave his wife alone. Like he advised women to leave if their husbands cheated on them, get out the way so that another man who really loves her could get in. Yeah, you should get out of the way. But again, why is he in this space? Why does society create a place where men can give advice to women? And it all comes down to patriarchy. Patriarchy makes it so that we believe that men are experts at things, even when they have absolutely no experience in it. There is a plethora of men with all the confidence in the world speaking about things they have absolutely no clue about. And, we, as a society in general, we accept men being experts. We've been socially conditioned to believe in the expertise of men. And sadly, that means that a lot of women will trust advice from men when the man may have no idea what he's talking about. They just automatically see them as an expert at something. And you can't, it's really sad that we have these guys who obviously are not experts because their relationships are falling apart in public for all to see, but they're doing it for profit. And that's because they know that like Steve Harvey knew when he wrote his book that he could sell millions of copies to women, advising them about relationships and dating, and nobody questioned it. And that's crazy to me that nobody would ever question why he would write this book. Like, why, Steve, did you write a book about relationships for women? Why not for men? Like, why don't men ever want to write books or make videos telling men how to act and behave in relationships or attract women? I mean, you have men like Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels is telling women that they don't look good enough to attract a high quality man. And it's like, have you looked at Kevin Samuels? Like, he has put himself in a space where he's tearing down women. And honestly, I look at Kevin Samuels and I can tell that he's just living off the confidence, this false sense of confidence that he has now because he's gone viral. He has a big following. But really, when it comes down to it, I see a really insecure guy sitting there. And if he didn't have that audience, you wouldn't see somebody as bold as he is saying the crazy things that he says to people. The false sense of confidence. You run into that a lot with men. You see like a lot of men. It's okay. Let me back up. False sense of confidence. Something I want all the ladies out here to really think about. I talk about it in my book, but I want you to understand that because of how we're socially conditioned, boys are reinforced with the idea that they're good at things. From the time they're little, they're good leaders, they're good, their confidence is built up just because of our society building up boys. We build them up to be leaders. We tell them that they're just good because they're boys, and we let them get away with everything, and that builds confidence. Girls don't get that same kind of push to be confident in themselves. Girls are questioned, especially if we tramp girls down when, if they show any kind of leadership ability, they're called bossy. And that, tempers down how girls feel about themselves. So you get this guy, and I mean, looking at Kevin, that confidence is not it's not real. Like, I can see it. I can tell that if he didn't have the platform that he has, he wouldn't be doing the things that he wouldn't be saying the things to people that he says, and he wouldn't be doing what he's doing now. But he's been put in a position where he feels confident, and it's not real confidence. It's just he kind of drunk on the popularity that he has. So the other reason why I know it's fake is I can tell that the way he attacks women is something old. It's like, you run into a lot of men who had their feelings hurt when they were like in 6th or 7th grade by some girl who didn't like them. It happens. Everybody gets rejected. But because boys are never taught to deal with hurt feelings, to deal with their pain, they hold on to it. A lot of men, grown men, are right now still mad at some little girl that rejected them and are now taking it out on other women. And that's what I see in Kevin Samuels. I see him just lashing out at women with a lot of anger. And I'm sure that anger came from some girl hurt his feelings when he was a kid, and he's still mad about it. And now he has a platform where he gets this false sense of confidence because people are listening to him, that he is an expert. And it's like, you're just another person who has traumas and who has issues, who needs to really work on themselves. But now you're in a position where people are listening to you, and they really should be questioning why you keep trying to tell women what to do or how to date or how to attract men. It's very strange that that's what we get right now. We get all of these men hopping up and telling women what to do. So, where was I? Okay. Now, just like women are attracted to like power, men are too. And I think one of the things that a lot of these men are not able to understand, it's not about how you dress. You know, they're telling women to carry themselves a certain way or wear a certain outfit or act a certain way or have clothes, you know, do their hair a certain way. And it's not, that is not what attracts men. Confidence, real confidence is what attracts men. And that's when you build your own self up to a place where you're happy with yourself. People are attracted to that. Confidence is very powerful. And so many women, especially these women who are following these guys and the women that are following the femininity movements, are looking for something to help themselves and build themselves up, but they're running into people who are tearing them down. And one of the things that really bothers me is that attracting people and being your best self really requires you to love yourself and find who you are and be happy with yourself, no matter your size, no matter your age, no matter your race. Being happy who you are, being the best person for you, like the best person you can be as you, is what really brings people to you. And this is something that bothers me about a lot of these people, these men especially, but the femininity schools, wife schools, all of these people who are taking advantage of women and making them, you know, either tearing them down, taking their money, telling them that they're not good enough. You know, Kevin Samuels, I only saw that one video, that the first one that went viral, when he was tearing into that woman and tearing her down. You know, that's not helpful. It wasn't useful. It was sensational. You know, people watched it, it went viral, but it wasn't kind. It wasn't helpful. And she's probably traumatized. She's probably still dealing with the pain from that incident. But, you know, the problem is when you do that to somebody, you're not really wanting to help them. You're just living off your own ego. That's what he's doing. He's gotten attention for tearing women down. And then he, you know, packages as like he's an expert trying to help them out. He's not helping them. He's hurting them. He's being harmful. And, you know, I wish there were more women in the space. Like, I'm in the space. I wrote the book because I saw that there were no women really giving advice that works. I don't tear people down because I know that doesn't help them. What helps people is letting them know that, look, find yourself, find what makes you happy, build yourself up, be, you know, whatever your style is, rock your style, whatever you like to do. There's somebody out there who likes to do that too. There is no right or wrong way to be in a relationship. It's only compatibility and your own self-confidence and self-worth and your own wholeness. Like, you have to be a whole person. You have to be complete. You're not looking for somebody to complete you. You have to be a complete person. And then if you're a complete person, you attract people to you. It just happens. When you are fully confident in who you are, people notice. People are like, oh, wait, who's that? I want to talk to that person. And, you know, that's the thing that I don't see with these, you know, these guys and these femininity schools. I see a lot of people just wanting to harm for profit, because that's basically what we come down to. You know, go viral, call some people some names, and, you know, there you go. That's the formula. I mean, that's how the algorithm works. I've been watching this for years, and, you know, the meaner you are or the dumber you are, the quicker the algorithm pushes you in front of lots of people. But if you are a positive person, if you're not tearing people down, if you're not hurting people, then you're not a sensational thing. The algorithm is not going to push you forward because you're being positive, and positivity doesn't necessarily get you the eyes. Like, it gets you people like you. Like, I feel like a lot of people really like me. I have a lot of people who read my blogs, and I'm appreciative of that. But when it comes down to like these super viral phenomena, it's like you have to harm, or you have to just say be stupid, because that's what works. But when we really want to bring something positive into the world, we really want to help people, it's different. Like, online, it's different for me. Like, for example, right now, you guys don't know how nervous I am, but I am. I get nervous when I do this. I always wonder if I'm coming across, if I'm delivering the message that I really want to deliver. And it's hard. It's hard to stand up here and say, look, stop listening to these guys, because these guys are not trying to help you. They are trying to profit off of your pain. There's a big industry trying to profit off of your pain, trying to make you, in fact, most things in capitalism, and that's a whole different topic, are always there to try to make you feel like you lack something so they can sell you something so they can take your money. And it's the same formula. Thank you, Tracy. I appreciate Tracy because she's always supporting me. But yeah, you have to understand what is happening. Tearing you down to make you feel like you aren't good enough is a tactic to sell you something. So these men and these femininity schools, they are telling you you aren't good enough. And I'm telling you, you are. You are good enough. You are perfectly okay the way you are. Like, whatever it is you like to do, again, somebody out there likes to do it too. You don't have to fall into this, pattern of thinking, I need to have this to be complete. I need to be in a relationship to be complete. You don't have to have that. You are a complete person as you are. And so you have to always remember, especially in dating, like, I'm in a relationship now, but I dated. That's another reason why I wrote my book. I actually dated men. I actually went on dates, many dates. I went on so many dates. There might even be somebody on this live right now that I went on a date with. I used that experience to write my book. It wasn't like I just made it up, because that's what it feels like many times when I see like the Kevin Jacksons, or the, Ro Cudnose, or Nicole, whatever her name is. Like, when people are making these videos, they are making stuff up. They literally have no results. They have no results of like what they've done to show that it actually works. For me, I did the research. I did the work, and I wrote about it because I found, especially with confidence is it. Ladies, if you're single and you really want to date, you have to be confident in who you are. You have to. And the other thing is, everybody acts like all women want to get married. Not all women want to get married. Some women just want to date. Some women just want to have a company or a companion. Some people want a partner, a life partner, but not all women want to be married with kids. And that's the other thing we're seeing, is like this push to tell women that they're incomplete without a husband, and they have to have a husband. And it's like, not every woman wants that. There's nothing wrong with it, but not every woman wants that. There's no one size fits all for women when it comes to relationships and dating. There's only you and being your whole self and compatibility. If you're really wanting to be in a relationship with somebody, if you really want to be in a relationship, a healthy one, you have to be in a relationship with someone who's compatible, or else it won't work out. Unless you just want to have short relationships, and some people might want that. Some people may want to just have multiple relationships. There's nothing wrong with that either. We have to stop dictating to women what women should be. We have to start making spaces for women so that they can be comfortable with their own desires. I think that we haven't created enough safe spaces for women to be comfortable with who they are and wanting something outside what is considered normal. Like, women who don't want to get married, or women who don't want to have children. There's like a huge movement now to take women back into being stay-at-home moms. Nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom. I've been a stay-at-home mom. The problem is telling women that they have to be one way is not okay. You have to stop giving women a little box and telling them they have to fit in it. There's multiple people. Everybody is different. Everybody wants different things. And so we have to make spaces that are safe for other people to grow and be themselves. You see, Tabitha, you said, and the dating field is not easy for some women. A lot of men expect sex during dating because that is what they got previously. But it's not a lot of men. I mean, not every man wants to have sex. There's a lot of men who do. I'm not saying that. But that's why I say compatibility. You may run across somebody who doesn't feel that way. We have to make space for things that are different. We have to stop putting everybody in one box. But there are men out there right now who want to spend time with somebody. And that's it. There are those guys who want to just spend time. There's not a one size fits all. There's not all men are this way and all men are that way, because if that were true, I would probably just I would just jump out and be like, I'm done. I don't want to deal with men, because there's not a one type of man. Just like with the what's the term? The high value man. Like that. I'm so tired of hearing that. There's no such thing as a high value man. I wish that people would stop making up stuff. It doesn't even make sense. It's completely subjective. Like, what's high value to you may not be high value to that person over there, may not be high value to that person over there. Some of it has to do with money. Some of it has to do with lifestyle. It's like you have to stop trying to label everybody into one thing. Not everybody wants that. Like, not everybody wants to date somebody who's wealthy. And that's the other thing that a lot of these, people are pushing for women to, what's it called, level up or marry up or hypergamy. Listen, ladies, there are not that many wealthy men in the world. In the United States, there are not that many. Most people have an average income. Most people have average lifestyle. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being wealthy. But they're selling this idea that if you act a certain way, you look a certain way, then you'll attract this wealthy guy. And it just doesn't happen. And you see these people signing up for these programs and these classes and being single and getting frustrated for the longest time, when really we need to tell women especially to be yourself, live your life. If you happen to meet somebody who's compatible, great. And we also have to say, if you don't, that's great too, because you focused on yourself and you built yourself up and you are in a space where you're happy with who you are. It's okay. Like, I think me and my man, we both had our oneness when we met. We were both whole. We were happy in our oneness, and we happened to meet at the same time when we were both happy in our oneness. And then they were like, oh, well, you're happy. I'm happy. Let's get together. That's the difference. Like, it's the difference in being, a complete person or being a person who just feels broken and they have to find something outside of themselves. We have to stop telling people, especially women, it's out there. Your happiness is way out there somewhere, and you will not ever have it unless you go out there and get it. It's like, no, everything you need is right here. Everything you need for you is right here. You have things about yourself that you don't like. Only you can change them. And it doesn't mean that people don't change. People can change. You can change things about yourself. If you're unhappy with certain aspects of your life, you're unhappy with people around you, if you're unhappy with where you live or the job you have control to change those things about yourself. What you cannot do is expect somebody to come in and fix everything for you. That doesn't work. And the idea that many of these programs are selling is that, I was just talking about it earlier, that men will come in and fix women. How? You can't be fixed. Nobody can fix you. First of all, if again, nobody knows what you're happy about with yourself or what you're unhappy about. That's you. That's your responsibility. Nobody can come in and automatically your life will just be amazingly better. It doesn't work like that. This is a fairy tale. It's like a, princess fairy tale, and here comes a prince to rescue you. Those things don't happen. And I wish that we would stop selling this idea to women that a guy is gonna, if you act this way, if you behave this way, if you submit, or if you, whatever, pretend to be this type of woman, then some guy is gonna show up and rescue you from all that pains you. It's not real. And I really wish that we would stop selling these ideas to women. It's just, it doesn't work. And it do you feel that when some women hear you speak that they think I'm bitter? I mean, I've been called bitter, I've been called single, but the thing about it is that I'm not. It's reflected in how I live. It's reflected in what I post. People, and the other thing, Tabitha, is people call women bitter to knock you down. One of the tactics that's used on women often is that if a woman shows confidence, like I was saying earlier, like girls, when they show leadership qualities, people call them bossy. Well, when women show that they're happy, when women show that they're confident, a patriarchal society is not used to women, living freely without the validation of men. So whenever you see a woman living freely, very often, because other women are part of patriarchy, we can't get away from that. Internalized misogyny is a real thing. They will call her bitter to knock her down, to take her confidence down, because living freely and happy as a woman without validation from men, it breaks the patriarchy, and people don't like that. When you are outside of the norm of patriarchy, you're going to get attacked. That's why people will call you bitter. That's why men will say, oh, that's why you can't get a man. Or, those are tactics to knock women down. And it's just part of the patriarchal system. So you have to understand why you're being attacked. You understand how it's used to just knock you down. And once you realize what's happening, it doesn't work. Like I said, I've been called all of it. Bitter, feminazi, single. That's the one that always makes me laugh. And none of it's true. It's just not true. I'm not bitter. I'm happy. I see, society for what it is. We live in a patriarchal and sexist society. I realize that me speaking out about, patriarchy and sexism upsets the system. I know that a lot of people don't want me to say the things that I say, but I say them anyway because they need to be said. More people need to hear these things because we have to stop knocking women down and telling them that they're nothing without a man. It's not true. You can date, be happy, and be single. You can get married and be happy. There's all these choices. It's all about choices. And that's the other thing. Like, I know that people get mad and they say feminism is killing the Black family, which it makes me laugh. It's not true. But feminism is about choice. And I think the hardest thing people are having trouble with is that they don't want women to choose the life they want to have. They want to tell women, get in the box. You have to do it this way. You said you do hate that some feel feminism has given women permission to have sex with any man. I don't feel that's what it is. Listen, again, feminism is about choice. Personally, I feel like we don't need to mind other people's sex lives. How about that? Yeah, you can. And you can date all and as many as you want. In fact, ladies, if you're listening, really listening, if you really want to find somebody compatible, if your goals in your dating is to find a relationship with someone who's compatible with you, dating multiple men at the same time is the best way to reach that goal. I'm not the first person to say this. I'm not the last. It works. It just does. It just gives you opportunity. It gives you more people to talk to. You have more men, more chances of finding compatibility. It's just math. It's not anything other than that. Now, when many women aren't able to do that because they have to deal with our culture who tells women that if you do this, you're a whore, you're a slut, you're nothing. They're calling you names because you're living outside of the system. So if you do this, you have to understand that you're breaking patriarchy. You're saying, I don't believe in patriarchy. I don't believe men are the leaders. I don't believe this. I'm living my life for me. And that is difficult for the society to deal with. So when you do those things, when you date multiple guys, hey, trying to tell you the truth, date multiple guys. If you can handle it and you want to do it and you do it, best way to find someone who's compatible with you. It just works. Yes, it does. It makes it so easy to figure out what you don't want. And the other thing, when you date, and I talk about this in my book, you learn so much about yourself because being exposed to different people gives you more experiences and it helps you develop as a person. So I encourage it. You know, if you're out there and you're dating ladies, go for it. Date multiple people. Enjoy yourself. Don't take other people's judgments on you. Be you. Do what you want to do. Be happy. Enjoy yourself. Don't let the society dictate what you want to do and what's best for you. So, anyway, I feel like I've been talking and talking. And I have so much that I've said already, but my mouth is getting dry and it's been, oh my God, it's been like 31 minutes already. But yeah, I just want, ladies, I really want you guys to stop listening to these men. Please stop listening to these men. Please stop letting these men put you on a path that doesn't help you. Please, talk to anyone who's a woman who has experience, because, first, really, when it comes down to it, women have a lot more experience navigating men, not just in romantic situations. We are, as a group, more emotionally intelligent because we have to navigate the feelings of men all the time. For example, women have developed ways to avoid being injured when they have to reject a guy. That's a skill, sadly, one we had to develop because of the dangers that men pose to women, but that is a skill. We have skills that men don't have. So we have to stop looking to men to help us navigate men when we have more expertise. I'm just saying, we do. We have more expertise. Thank you, Tracy. And Tabitha, listen, whatever works for you. If you want to date one guy at a time, date one guy at a time. I'm just telling you that the multiple dates thing it really is the best way to find compatibility because it just gives you more options. It's just math. It's not, and it doesn't mean you have to have sex. I know a lot of people assume that if you go on a date with somebody that you're having sex, but that's, again, a sexist view. It's not necessarily true, and it's not their business. So anyway, said so much. It's been 30 minutes. I think I'm gonna get out of here. Again, please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button right now. If you're not following me on Instagram, it's Kai Fly Mommy. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's Kai Nicole. It's also Kai Nicole on Facebook. Make sure you like all of my Date Like a Woman pages on all the platforms. It's all Date Like a Woman. What else? What else can I add? I'm going to try to do this. Again, this is my second live. I'm going to try to do this weekly. I'm going to try to do this weekly. Hopefully I can, but I'm going to try. Again, this is difficult for me. I know that people think it's not, but it is. I am not a person that likes to be in front of the camera. I am not a person that likes to talk like to strangers. It's just, it's hard for me, but I'm going to do it anyway because I feel like somebody has to say something. We cannot let these men continue to give bad advice to women and then end up in scandals because they cheated on their wives. Okay, we're just going to stop that right now. Okay, we're going to cut it out. We're not doing this. And so I'm going to jump up in here as much as possible. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. I appreciate all of you. Please share this video if you liked it. And again, please subscribe and take care. Bye.